Ace Attorneys. We back at it again. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. Okay. Was it day 2 of investigation? Mr. Wright? Huh, what? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from a bottom of a lake about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. What happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got cut off into the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn the trial around, right? Our only weapon, tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, padre? Partner? They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. No, absolutely not. It's actually the motion of which the flag is which causes the bull to come charging at you. That's why they told me, when I was youngin' at least, Officer Marshall. Thought I'd come take a look and see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've gotten the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy's territory. Hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now don't that just beat it all. I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many times. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the reward ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth seen it too, I'd reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. Oh god, I'm so tired. Oh, so Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let the bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming now, Mr. Wright? Piss. If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee. I'd like to resume? What's up? What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, and you're sweating bullets. That fro brow and those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, the doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time we continued with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor's is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock? Who's there? Ah! Dun dun dun! What's up? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose a 5.7 degree. 5.7 degrees? Holy shit! That is it's like, that is a fuck ton, is it not? Is it not a fuck ton? Who on earth is he? Oh, it's you. Oh, you gonna continue staring at me like this? Oh, heh. Sorry I'm late, Uggy. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Uggy? How you been? Swimming much these days? Ah, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy schmizzy, Uggy. My boy, you gotta make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Uggy seems to be the nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Ah, so you're Righto, the attorney I've heard great things about. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks? Sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, huh? Right. You know, we should all go swimming together sometimes. Jolly. What a jolly man. Little worthy? Mr. Wright. You don't know the district's chief of police? No. No, the fuck I don't. I don't even know my district chief of police. Then again, I'm not in the law profession. Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Grant. Damon Grant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, Worthy. Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fella. I just thought I'd help out and bring this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think this was stuffed in the exhaust pipe on little Worthy's car, no less. Really quite embarrassing even for us. Yeah, you missed a whole ass red ass muffler in the fucking exhaust pipe. What's this? That's what you called a switchblade. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute, Worthy. I have no desire to hear your excuse. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistake that signature is Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But You're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss of words for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Gah. Court accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it? Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push the switch, and if I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I won't be able to pound my gravel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I won't be able to point at people anymore. Come on, just hurry it up and open it. Oh, right, we go the other way. Fuck. Hold on. I'm gonna look at this tag first. There's a small tag on this knife. Seems to say SL92. What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar. The DL6 of DLS6 incident frame. But isn't it strange? What? I'm not certain, but I get the feeling we've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters that look a lot like this somehow. Yes, indeed we have. Gah! Don't scare me like that. You're the one. I'm the one who's supposed to be. I'm the one who's scared. Look at that knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? Switchblade knife has been added to court records. This does not excuse the action of the police department. I'd like to hear your explanation from the police chief himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutor and the police and this knife? Sure. Sure thing, not a problem. Even a little one, really. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove the connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do investigation. A detective was killed at the police department. See? What a mess. Time of crime 5:15. Scary coincidence, huh? Eh? It's not officially linked to this here case. I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department. A detective? That's a hush-hush information, Uggy. We haven't exactly announced it yet. But wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order. Anyways, we at the department are all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Let's save here.
Objection!
Yep, it's this piece of paper. If you can see, if you flip it around, he's gonna tell you. I don't know why I'm telling you, but you'll see. Wait a second. Ah! At last, an honest to goodness objection.
This knife. This has something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Ah ha ha ha. And honest to goodness, what do you mean from Uggy? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Over here, we also have a memo from that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7S12-2? Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The print name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what'd you get? Ah! Aha! Whoever wrote this note is holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Order! Order! Well, Chief? Ah, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. I win? What game is this guy playing? So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it? In fact, a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice! Good show, Little Worthy! It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen from the day of the murder, and was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. Keep on pressing it. This knife is evidence from a case that was stolen from the police department's. On the same day, that was a detective killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Another detective was killed at the police department. That's a fact, surprisingly, isn't it, Uggy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested them, in fact. Just arrested. That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto? I suppose I could help. If you help me by giving me data on your case? Ooh, good one. This kid is sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Oh. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence locker at the police department, the evidence room. Wait a sec, I've heard of that. The evidence room. Didn't he just mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was evidence in a case that was stolen from the department's evidence room. There is a connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? Happy, we just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the links between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Grant to testify about the details. Chief, the defense position is simply this. The connection between these two cases have been proven. Heh, you don't say. Well, out with it, righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is the place that mentioned in the testimony we heard. The knife was found in the lot. The knife that was found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. Jesus Christ, I don't know why that was so hard to read. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in the very same evidence room. In that very same evidence room, indeed. There do seem to be many connections for this to be just. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you've deducted right here. Chief, I request you release information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What, really? Who would have guessed? If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, the case information is sticky. This case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me the name after all. We keep a tight lid on the ID number so we don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. Well, that's quite long. We have to remember these. We have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You didn't even start with the right number. Wasn't it 58? Am I going to be like the judge? Am I being exposed? Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim, the police department. Yeah, okay, I was right. It started with 58. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. It is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something? What does it tell you? Witness? What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. It's just I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office, 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh ho ho, is it yours? No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number was 5842189. And? This means what exactly? Huh? Wait, the ID number we heard from the chief earlier started with 82. No, it's 5842189. Or is it 5842198? No, it's 189. Should be. Hold on. Bam! You didn't even get the first numbers right again. The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189. Objection. Wait a second, right? What does this mean? That's what I want to know. Two IDs are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, ho, 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 ho. Sharp as attack, Rido. Sharp as attack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet, a Detective Goodman was killed at the police department in the evidence room at this exact same time. That's impossible. So what you're saying is, the same person is killed at the same time in completely different locations? Order! Chief, what does this mean? Objection, no. I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecution in charge of the case. Now just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare you? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meeks who brought you the news. Officer Meeks? Mr. Wright, have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! I just realized you can see his like ID card. It has the exact same pose as he's doing right now. Excuse me, but is Edgeworth anywhere on the premise? I'm here at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him? According to Meeks, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe, but your officer, he told me. He said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murder at the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on top of the report. Gah! Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if the officer was capable of making the connection. Does seem challenged. Yeah, what is up with this department? Half the department are full of idiots. Honestly, you got the chief, who plays like solitaire half the time. You've got Officer Meeks, not the brightest bulb in the book. Then you've got, I hate to diss him like this, but then you've got Detective Gumshoe. He's loyal where it needs to be, but he's not exactly spec'd into intellect. In any case, it's severe error, the gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted this report this morning in the court as evidence. Then No such luck this time, Worthy, or should I say unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to use in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Rido over there. Good job, Rido, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No. No!
It seems we have to come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, with all those rumors. You were even in the defense chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened if that's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been this serious in the history of courts. In the history of this court. No, I'm pretty sure there's been infinitely worse, Judge. Infinitely worse. I'll grant one further day as the prosecutor has requested. This will be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. February 23rd, 2:15 p.m. Writing Co. Law Office. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyways? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor parking lot and the police evidence department. And what's this? And the evidence room part. The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes away by car. Well, that's what we were going to find out, or at least try to at least. Alright, let's do it. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove the thick rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. They aren't, actually, which is really funny. They actually have a practical use in lore, which is so funny to me. Like, one of the most craziest character designs of, like, all the... Like, one of the, the crazy designs of the Phoenix Wright characters. She actually has, like, usable, like... These are... There's a in-lore reason why she fucking wears these. Science awaits. February 23rd, prosecutors on the ground line. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. The oil drum. Was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at a crime scene? Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just, we're both professional. Okay, so, one thing that has been confusing me is, if you look earlier, I don't know if you go back. If you go back, one thing you should know is when you see the blue line of text in parentheses, it's normally his thought. But the fact that Emma is responding, I'm just assuming it's a error on their part that it's not supposed to be a thought. Yeah, you see that this is normally represents a thought. This blue in parentheses, big words for a high school student. See? So it was his thought, and then the normal text is white. But if you go back, the text was blue in parentheses. So I don't know if it was just, I'm pretty sure it's an error, but like it confused me at first when I remember going, what the fuck? She can read my mind? Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in the oil drum washed it away. Ignore the strength. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that thing is luminal testing fluid. And this thing will be used a lot in the future. And when I mean a lot, I mean a fuck ton. I think it's in... This thing is single-handedly in every Ace Attorney game. I think. No. It's not in Great Ace Chronicles 1. I think it's in Great Ace... I'm pretty sure... Yeah. No, it is in Great Ace Chronicles 1. It is! Right! The precursor to Luminal... It is! So it is in every game, I think. Trying to think of... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in every game. Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can... If you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. Well, we're testing blood stains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look. I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You have an extra pair of those? To test the blood reaction, spray the luminal fluid on it. Like this, see? Press enter spray on it. Okay? Let's find us some blood stains. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So this is a blood stain. Ugh. It's so ugh. Emma, you're shaking. It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood. One, you're not seeing it. Two, if you're going to become a forensic investigator, you need to know what, you're going to be seeing blood on a daily basis. Time scientifically investigated in action. Okay, we'll definitely know, we definitely know that this is a blood stain. But doesn't this something strike you as odd, scientifically speaking, of course? What's odd about this, scientifically? The amount of blood. The perpetrator and the Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? Definitely think so. I mean, look at the bottom of the victim's shoe. This is pretty stained. They have fought here. It would have been... There would be... Oh, sorry. If they had fought here, there'd have to be been more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm going to mark up the floor plans where when we found the blood stain. When we found the blood stain, not where. I think that's just a translation error. See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yes, this is some pretty handy stuff too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Luminal testing fluids. Received from one very proud-looking MS guy. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Let's drag that hidden evidence into the light of day. Yeah, I feel like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? We are investigating a crime, Emma. That is literally what we are doing right now. I guess I should give this spray on something suspicious. Ha. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. We went from lunch boxes to deli boxes? What the fuck? Miss Star. You only trust your own eyes. Not bad, you two. This day old deli box is on the house. Was that... Dude, if that... You know what? I'd still eat it if it was day old. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead doesn't really get my mouth watering. What? Certainly put me on a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Star, but No, no, it's okay. It's my fault. Well, oh, we know. Emma, you don't have to be so blunt. I witnessed everything from the security room right here, but I was afraid that it wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry, you lied on witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the event was from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw the chief prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and the testimony still stands. I swear on my honor as a detective, she stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something to tell important to tell us, but what? So you're a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes. It was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up. They'd confessed. They blabbled like babies, you know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of the suspect after suspect. Before long, they called me the cough-up queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go or fired? I felt that I found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prime and proper prosecutor hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. SL9, wait, she doesn't mean... What do you think of this? The SL9 incident that's written on that knife, and on this note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on the case, you know? Really? This knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for a transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected. SL9 isn't over, not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard's room, but even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime? I rushed towards the chain-linked fence in an effort to stop the murderer. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The whole of my testimony were 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. True! Listen, little girl. I've had my case testimony disregarded before. And I was going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time. That incident really opened my eyes to the truth. We are nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable to who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I've ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence, so they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal that was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence, not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of sort. made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself and the other people, and one other person you know very well. Could it be? Exactly. Detective Jack Marshall. Oops, I mean the police department security detail officer Jake Marshall. As a professional detective investigating the case from every angle, Jake was particularly determined, and then it was over. He was demoted. However, he wasn't forgotten, neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, hidden side, and that's what we're after now. No one up in their fancy office can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell. Those are the only reason. There's only one reason I came to sell lunches in this accursed office. Came here to meet old friends, boyfriends that could help me investigate. Miss Star's old boyfriends. How many does she have, anyways? She's a whore. Just when all the detectives on the SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, Rookie. Oh, what? It seems like you're seriously investigating this case. About investigating a case. Yes. Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch? A certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his, going out? What do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases. He was so nice. He got along with my sister well, made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective, but now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Even busier today than it was yesterday. Detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here after all. So the evidence room, the crime scene. According to the pamphlet, we gotta go at the front desk. There it is. Just like a kid at an amusement park. Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's take a look. What's with the decor? This place. It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for evidence room. So beyond this door is evidence room, the scene of the crime. I'm sure it sure seems that way. Oh, what's wrong? Those cacti, they're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is if this is a guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Yeah. Play charge of Fanatic. Please. Huh? Wasn't that? One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's not the time for chit-chat, pal. I'm busy. I'm a busy man. I really wanted a steak from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I heard the sound of his heart breaking. That was not the time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. The criminal, you mean? You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? On the same day, the detective was killed in the prosecutor parking lot. The detective was killed in the police department. And the perpetrator, do you have the suspect? Well, there was a suspect, just arrested them, in fact. This is the biggest scandal to hit the police station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need a steak lunch pronto. Dinning around here isn't gonna fill my belly. Wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over. I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. You ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. February 23rd, Detention Center visitors room. Still, I do feel better about things a little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Better not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator. I say I was the perpetrating against, sir. That's what I'd say. Officer Meeks. Hi. Greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth on the... I'm not reading this again. I'm too tired to read this. Officer Meeks, so you're the guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not. Sir, I'm a little lost patrolman. Like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report? No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't, is he? You, Officer Meek, you didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meeks reporting, sir. What? What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. God, that hurts my ears every single time. Sir, I'm a patrolling officer with General Affairs, sir. Sir. Oh, I can hear you just fine, Officer Meeks. I had some business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence rooms. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room. That's right, sir. Because the evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir... God, he needs to stop saying sir. I happened to glance at the security room monitor. Then I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. Yow! What the heck is this guy doing? So what happened to them then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. That's when I came to. I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Wait, that doesn't even make sense! Because you came up and gave us Edgeworth the report. You wouldn't be out for days. You would be out... Ugh, no, whatever. Might I ask, what happened to your hand?
Sure, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could. Wrap it up, sir. A band-aid on his hand. Just like in the sky. Yet another similarity between these cases, this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. No, first things first, the victim. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as the perpetrator or victim, sir, label me as the victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention and alive and well. Well, yes, well, that is true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know Detective Goodman? Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, if I had to label him as a stranger or total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So you didn't know him. Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light and other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So he was a total stranger. Why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intent of killing him, none. Nor did I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should be just confessing? But sir, but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do. Sir, to tell you the truth, what happened? When the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. The next thing I knew, I was unconscious. Next thing you knew, you were, huh? Then I opened my eyes, and I was alone in the evidence room, all alone. All alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? When I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. On the shock... Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? When the victim bodies disappeared? That's some story. Well, that is indeed a crazy story as well. Could you take a look at this? Hey, that's it, sir. That's it. That's it. That's what? My head was blank until this very moment. But sir, now I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct. That card was the cause of all of it. This ID card? Exactly, sir. That's exactly. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing. I better probably a little more deep information about this. Can you tell me what... Can you tell me what is it that you remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrolman, a lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room, and that's why I thought he'd look suspicious. And when I entered the evidence room, I asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, it sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. Then what did he do? That's the thing. He suddenly pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped him and left. I whooped and left at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him. Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir. What happened then? Well, sir, everything went when I woke. I was here. Again, a lie because you got
Yeah. You weren't in the detention center. Handed you handed the fucking note off to Edgeworth. So, Officer Meek, why was it then you were arrested? What do you mean, Emma? Well, let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meeks didn't know Detective Goodman, and that was the victim who he met at the scene of the crime. He didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I want to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember this events clearly. No. The videotape is quite clear. No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? The videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime. The crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me it's on tape. And you were waiting until now to tell us this? That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, really sorry. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No, honestly, you don't. Let's be completely honest. No thanks. I have my own. Well, better go check the scene of the crime. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives desk. It's Police Chief Grant. And you're sure this is all, You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, and blah blah blah, under his seat cushions, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. If anything turns up, call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We've scoured the place again, sir. Please to check the chief of detective looks a little flustered. Righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Ho ho ho, Chief Grant. Reporting for duty, sir. What are you saluting him for, Mr. Wright? Is Edgeworth gonna be okay? Oh, Worthy? You know, they're gonna doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep. Well, they've had no end. Well, yep. I have muted my mic this entire fucking time. Well, we're keeping it in. We're keeping it raw. But I was speaking that entire time. Well, that's an error. I can't believe I fucked that up. Oh well. I was saying, this reminds me, back when, I remember there was a time where, I don't remember what badge it was, or what it was, but my dad had a card badge, right? And we had one of those fake ID, or those Microsoft fake IDs that you can get, when you go to the Microsoft store. Speaking of which, if I remember correctly, I went there twice. First time I was very young as a kid, and they got my name right, Andrew Song. The second time, they put my name as Andrew Song, like Song, and I was like, and ever since that day, whenever I tell them my last name, I go, uh, there's like, can you spell me, or can you tell me your last name? Sung, Sung, and that's, I say that every single time afterwards. You know what? The funniest thing is, I think I even told the lady Sung. No, I did in fact tell that dumb lady Sung, and then she proceeded to spell Song. I'm like, someone spelt it out for you, and yet you fucked up somehow. It made me so upset when I saw that. Like, I was like genuinely about to walk up to her, and my dad was like, "No, no, no, it's fine. Just leave it be." And I was like about to rip open a new one. Like, I was about to tell her, "How the fuck did you manage to fuck it up?" When I spelt it in front of you, I was like, "Sung, Sung," and she goes, "Song, Song." I'm like, "What? Where did you hear me say oh?" Yeah, if I remember correctly, because I've grown a habit of saying Sung like when I'm just like, but like seriously. Anyways, he would, but the thing was is with the Microsoft badge holders, they actually have the two badge holders. So if you can,
if you put one in front, like if you put mine, like the fake one in front, in front, and you put a real one in back, you can walk up to a door, scan it, and then walk away. And that was the funniest thing. But anyways, off on my rant. Seriously, I still cannot. On top of that, was extremely racist because if I think about it, like I was asking my dad, like why I was like, why would she think my name is Song? And he goes, there's a lot of Chinese people come through. I'm like, I'm not Chinese though. She was like, yeah, she thought you were Chinese. I'm like, anyways, enough with my tangent. And um, as for that part, I was being quiet. I was just reading. I didn't say anything extra. But yeah, that really pissed me off. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we're going to go to the evidence rooms now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. Oh, let us get to the guard station. Evidence room is beyond that door. We got the ID card from Chief Grant. We have this ID card from Chief. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha, the card reader's turned off, you see. What is that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, what's made my Bambina sky so gray? Fucking you. You. Officer Marshall, why does it have to be him? What's with that why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw. That card you got here on your chest. It's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw. Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene's awaiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. Oh, you here? I was wondering if you could ask some questions. Sorry, cowboy. I got no mind entangling with new hombres. You're busy then, huh? Did I say that? I only said I didn't want to wish to speak with you. Actually, you said no mind to tangle with us hombres. Obviously. What smells reminds me of Texas. Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is that from my baby? Yeah, Miss Star. What's this? What's wrong? A filleted steak lunch. I see. I don't see. I'm wondering what this means. Steak lunch was given to Officer Marshall. Alright, Bambino, you win. Ask me anything. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. For those who are questioning, these choices will be here. He says a bit of special dialogue, but it's the same thing. He just says like, oh, I can't talk to you. I don't want to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of the security for the evidence room, right? Wee, my back. You got a good eye, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Officer Meeks at the detention center told us. Ah, that poor old doggy. Poor guy, I keep getting his name wrong, calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said when the stabbing occurred, you weren't here at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, it might not look like it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know. So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. No, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here, you know, anyhow. The newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on this place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take to machines much. I kind of like that stew broccoli they sneak in
next to your snake, you know. Miss Starr told us something. She said you were the detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on this scene of the crime. It's all gone now. Like a drinking hole in a Perry's life. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It was all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it, anyways? I've heard the name so many times, I can't tell. But no one can tell us what actually happened. There were some things you better off not knowing, Bambino. Anyways, the case is dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago. The day of our case. That's right. The evidence transferal. Edgeworth was talking about the transferal too. I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2? There must be dozens. Like I said, Bambino, Mia machines, well, I like them as much as I like cauliflower with my steaks. You just want to understand is here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meek mentioned. If nothing happens, the tape are automatically erased every few hours. Officer Meek and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. Thus the ID reader by the door. Card reader leaves a record of every ID card passes it through. So this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that from somewhere. 5842189. Sorry, Bambino, I can't show more than that. Huh? I haven't heard for whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on the record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that record's tied to the stabbing. Let's also talk to this. Sorry, but can you explain to me what the whole transfer thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the Preside's detective supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them, and if it turns out that there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in an underground vault at the county sheriff's department. Well, that's why we call it. That's why we call transferal. We do it every February. I see now. Transfer is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years ago, after a case is solved, it's closed, it's dead forever. Never to be reopened, never to be reinvestigated. That happened to the SL9 case 2 days ago. See this? This is the victim's ID card. The one that was on the ground in the parking lot. Number is 5842189. Officer Marshall, show us the ID record again. Look at the fourth number. It's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14 right before the stabbing. What's more, it's only one card. There's only one of them in them cards in the world. So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meek says? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing, he suddenly pointed a knife at me. If he had his ID card then, why would he have to point a knife at Officer Meeks? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show a list. Show this list to other people with IDs here. Evidence room. Oh my God! There's the metal detector. That's quite. That's quite. The investigation must be over. So this is the evidence room. It's kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. True. Nice try, Mr. Rat. You can't scare me. Gumshoe. Eek. Woo. Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is true what I heard? Yeah, it's true. So Chief Police Grant will loan anyone $50, even me. So that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for Jay, boss for a day. But guess what? You got the permission from the chief, so you're the boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you want to have this. Evidence room floor plans add to court records. So, Detective Gumshoe, you're the boss for the day. That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. Well, but if you're the boss, then why are you all alone? We're your underlings. They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? Aha, of course. I'm a detective after all. They give me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open. I always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee right now. They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. Wait here. I see. Guess this is what they call fate. Mr. Edgeworth can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. It was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we could get him to tell us more information about that case. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed with so that only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. That's why I'm on my third card ever since entering the force. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean fingerprints. Exactly, pal. The locks on each locker are coded with a fingerprint. Oh my god. Is that Maggie? She's not even in the game yet. She doesn't even appear in the game. Oh my god. Wait, holy shit. It's Maggie. For those who are questioning who Maggie is, let's just say she appears in the second game. Yeah, she first appears in the second game. We'll leave it at that. Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handle, see? The handles? On the side of the handles, there's a sensor. If the wrong person touches it, zap, you get shocked. That's what happens. My right. If that happens, that's what happens. My hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, there's lockers. The locks on the. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There have been some for the people who doesn't know about the fingerprint locks. Detective Goodman's note and the switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection, that was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, 2 years ago. It was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would evidence the case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are loose ends on that case. Now that was a bloody violent case. Violent? So it was murder. A serial killing. A serial killing. Maybe it doesn't... I don't want to get involved in this after all. The killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago? That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight. And started the rumor mill. Rumor about forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day, but that was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Huh? What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, you see? So the switchblade knife, the victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? That's the victim's ID, Detective Goodman ID. These days, everything's on their cards and secret numbers. I can never relax. That's only because you always lose your card. I always forget my secret number too. Scary, huh? My face should be ID enough. What is this world coming to? Detective Gumshoe will rubble against the system. Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in the day of the stabbing. Ah, I heard the rumors, so it was Goodman who came in. Woo! What is it? That second number. It's not an ID number. It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth. Wait. So, let me get this right. You can't remember your own ID, but you do remember Edgeworth's? What? A second number on the list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. What? What? Why would Edgeworth have to come to the evidence room? There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. I guess it must be evidence from some case. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put any of this here. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for evidence here. That said, I bet the evidence locker was recently opened. How do you know? If you leave something hanging out there, if you leave something hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times do I have to... How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence? Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot. He doesn't tuck in his shirt underneath his trench coat either. If you're going to talk about going to talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal. True. What is this, blood? It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint there. Looks like someone tried wiping it off. Right. What if there's other bloodstains in the room? Should we check the luminal fluids? Look, this one's open. The red light indicator above it is lit. That locker's Goodman's with Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker. Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? Well, it'd be hard to open it again if we closed it. It's empty. It must have been taken. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal, making me out some absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know. The SL9, it does have a tag on it. Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal, making me some kind of hooligan. It's apparently from the case. The case of the SL9 incident. You see the sticker on the... See the sticker on the side of the piece? Well, there's evidence case. Take a closer look. I wonder what happens, what shape would... I wonder what shape these pieces were in before it was broke. You want to try putting it back together? Ha, good luck, pal. There's no job for amateurs. I spent a good 3 hours on it before I had to give up. That's why I always carry a tub of glue. Well, this piece looks like to be the bottom. Let's put on the rest. Ay. Nope. There we go. No? Wait. Okay, there we go. Yep. There we go. There we go. Nope, it'll be this one. Not that one. Alright, I guess it would be this one. Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, doesn't look like you're the most stable jar. Like, it's kind of... I kind of understand how it got broken. Unstable jar has been added to court records.
That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional, but what's your opinion, Detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien. It was proof that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make note of it on the floor plan. Hey, if you don't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked for it. I knew it. This is someone's right handprint. What? What's the matter, Detective? This locker. It's mine. It's yours? Please. You have to help me. When they come to take me away, promise me you testify I wouldn't hurt a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. Counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective. Oh, there it is. I remember from playing it last. Why am I getting erection here? There's no reason for a murder to touch a spot if he fled out the door. This must be significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What's this? It's called luminal testing fluid. Where'd you get their hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. Borrow 50 bucks. I'll just borrow 50 bucks from the chief. Where'd you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Well, I better jot this down on the floor plans. Hey, pal, look at the time. Was there something you needed to be going to? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth Inquiry Committee should be letting out soon. Oh my God! They also have him in this? God, he's from the. Is he from the second game? No, he's from the third game. I'm pretty sure. Or is it second? Second or third? I don't remember. I'm going to give them my report for the day. I might help you. I might help you. You know. Report? You mean the note that was written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he could use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? True. I'm off, pal. Later. Probably see what Edgeworth has to say. Why are you still here? I don't think you talk ever for the rest of the game. This is also, yeah, that's one thing that confused me. I remember getting lost here and just going like, what the fuck am I missing? And then just like, she's still there. Oh my God, Bellboy! This is from the third case? No, second case. Yeah, second case. Ah, guess, my apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? They're standing by the window, a teacup in hand. Right. He has the hotel bring him tea service. Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah, yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he's trying to console me somehow. The real information's on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think the whole thing is taking a toll on him. So how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communication error during the investigation, concealing evidence. Yes, apparently there was someone who believed that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You're lucky this time again. Again. I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still presiding prosecutor attorney. However, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes. Any further investigation of the case will be directed by Chief of Police Grant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why? I ask you, why? All along, I've done what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Oh right, I better check this now. As I was saying, what's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went to the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that is true. Why? Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By the Chief of Grant. By Chief Grant, no less. Chief of Police? You want me to secure... You want me to... he wanted evidence for that case that wrapped up a half a year ago. He told me he wanted to keep it in the prosecutor's office. Now I'm curious, is that the screwdriver from the second case? Because if you use for wiretapping or something? Like that was the screwdriver used for wiretapping. I don't know. But it was solved, right? If it would have been evidence already filed, the chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, the day of the stabbing, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about the other case. I better make note of this. What the fuck is on my nose? Stubborn as always, I told you this. That has nothing to do with the current case. Yeah, there's so much things now. I know you. You're probably holding on to some information, or you probably got a hold of some information already, right? It has to do with the case you were on, the SL9 incident, and some dark suspicion that you were wrapped up in. You are the man who revived the worst. You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life. No, that would be the fucking earthquake. I think. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. Oh right, no so I was right. He was right. It was the earthquake. You must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth. Why don't you tell me about it? The truth. Tell me the truth. SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was Deputy Chief of Police at the time, Damon Grant. That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too then. He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Oh, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? All I want to know is why was the Deputy Chief of Police on the investigation? In truth, I used a slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with various murders. If I had let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won a guilty verdict and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't. Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code I follow faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister, what? If you were still studying forensic science. Huh? Yes, of course. That's why just today Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid, Well then. You might have a use for this. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints. Has been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you serious? You're the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Mr. Edgeworth, no need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved in the case. Thanks. How about give these to Detective Gumshoes as well? Fingerprint set and fingerprint file received. Oh then, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. Do you seem to remember a suspicious handprint somewhere? Okay, yeah, she's finally not here. And there's a blood on the detective's evidence locker. Let's use this. Let's use the powder. Take our weapon we just borrowed. Alright, let's get started. First, let's choose a finger. A finger? Exactly, a finger leaves a slightly different imprint. Let's choose a finger that will have left behind the clearest print. I can't really tell at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. Okay, now let's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get a sparkle in her eye. First we sprinkle the aluminum powder. Huh? How do you do that? With enter. Ah, looks a little like that little trick did. And the aluminum powder adheres to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow on the excess. How do I do that? With E. So obviously for the DS you would blow into the mic. Imagine you're blowing out a birthday cake. See? Wow. That looks like fun. I'm sure it's fine. Won't go in your nose or anything. Just pour the powder one thick blow on thick and blow extra. This is the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. Guess give it a try. And then you know, I love my powder extra thick. Ah, you did it. You found one, but this looks like nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this fingerprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been here wasting our time. Calm down. That's the way it sometimes goes with scientific investigation. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look up other prints? Looking at the locker again closely. Seems like there was a fingerprint left outside of the bloody fingerprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprint outside the... Obviously, they're talking about this little smudge. This is so much fun. One thing is annoying is you have to be extra with it. You have to make sure like these edges are also powdered like this. Yeah, and sometimes if you can't figure that out, it's like gets annoying and then you're just like, what is it? Just trying to figure it out. Yay, a print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyways, the print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. We're not done yet? This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing whose the owner is. I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth at the point, and point out who do you think these prints belong to. How am I supposed to know? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody fingerprint and the fingerprint are in different places, right? That means the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprint is most likely to be on this evidence locker? That would be... Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, we came up with nothing, but next time... Nothing this time, but there was always a next time. Sometimes you gotta hit, sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in the room. Let's check it out. This is where we got a luminal food reaction, right? Right. There was a handprint there. Okay. Want to try using this? Those eyes that sparkle. Check for prints. Okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you of something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it with chemicals, meaning any prints that were in the area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So what that means, no prints. You would probably say that of your hypothesis high. Don't ask me. Anyways, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand stain. Up here. And then down here. Over here as well? There we go. And then I already know whose this is. Hey, these fingerprints, whose are they? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall's. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? Officer Marshall's fingerprints been added to court records. That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime, Emma. This is definitely different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminal reaction, the blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped blood stain. But why would Officer Marshall... Looks like our investigation are finally turning us up results. I guess this is what you would call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. I think, yeah, I'm gonna split this up into 3 parts. If I know what's coming next. I'm gonna leave it off here. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the probably next and final episode. Yeah, probably final episode.